Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, great news. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone, and specifically Season 2, Episode 15, The Invaders. We were promised in the outro of Episode 14, The Whole Truth, that we would have a tale by Richard Matheson. What more do you need to say? If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all of that is then and this is now, and what is now? Now it's time for a tale by Richard Matheson as we watch the 15th episode of the second season of The Twilight Zone, The Invaders. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. I'm so excited for this. Richard Matheson and the Twilight Zone. I was just telling Patreon, it is peanut butter and jelly, friends. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's cross our fingers. Oh, I probably jinxed us. I told Patreon I probably jinxed us. We'll have to see.
Handmade, crude. A house without electricity or gas. A house untouched by progress. This is the woman who lives in the house. A woman who's been alone for many years. A strong, simple woman whose only problem up until this moment has been that of acquiring enough food to eat. A woman about to face terror, which is, even now, coming at her from the Twilight Zone.
Why did he look up? Why did he look up? He did say that science fiction fan, so... She doesn't seem very happy with this witch's brew that she's making. Have a sharpening stone or anything? Already the music's good. Atmospheric. Why do they keep showing us that? Not making a whole lot of progress with whatever that is. Making zero progress with whatever she's eating. Did it knock over her brew or stew or whatever it happens to be? I don't think it was loud. I think that there was some type of like frequency thing that was going on there. You see something move by the outside. I don't know, maybe it was loud. Is this the longest we've been in an episode of The Twilight Zone where the only voice we've heard is Rod's? That would be interesting if we don't have a voice. I mean, she doesn't speak at all. So this is probably an attic, not a loft or anything. Wow, that's wide open. Those old oil, that's an oil lantern, right? Like a domeless oil lantern? Dear God, that is a house fire waiting to happen. I like this camera work. Oh my God, it's little. It's little. Oh my God, it's like a reverse Gulliver's Travels because she didn't go anywhere. They came to her. No dialogue yet. Oh my God, this is awesome. Oh my God. One down. We're not going to have any dialogue in this. Amazing. I love it. Look at these guys. I love them. It's shooting her. Oh my God, you burn your house down. By the way, good shot. What about the one you knocked down? Is it dead? I mean, that's a hell of a fall for them. It's not there. Is that its little gun? Are those raised places on her arms supposed to be where she was shot? Are they burns? Yeah. Okay. Those are burns. They probably hurt like a... Oh, God, yeah. She probably thinks she's going insane. I mean, who wouldn't? Is that her cook pot? I guess not. We're going to go this whole episode without any dialogue. Well, that's definitely a communication of some kind. Yep. See how they pulled the light down? Really well done. So in a silent episode like this, whether it's a play or, if something on the stage live or something that we're watching here, the only way to convey tension and all of that stuff is to use the atmosphere around you. Obviously, the actor is going to have to do an incredible amount of heavy lifting and a lot of emotion, emoting with their face and their physicality. But the way that they're using the sound effects that we're hearing and the lighting arrangement where, see behind her? Really well done. Sound, music, everything else has to be brought up to another level. And so far, so great with this. She should go pick up that. I'm assuming that's that weapon of theirs. I'd pick that bad boy up. If you can't use it, at least they can't either. Also, I love how I speak like I'd be sane in this moment. I would do it this way. I certainly wouldn't be flustered if I was attacked by miniature aliens. Listen to that music. So is that the one that she knocked outside, I guess? The one that she threw the lamp at? Oh, great lighting. Jesus, this one is really cool. All the way to the intermission. I mean, they're going to go the whole episode. No dialogue but the narration. Is that what we're going to get? Oh my God. Back in the day, what an original idea. So cool. Oh shit, that's why they kept showing us that. I like these beefy little guys. Burning through. So normally the Twilight Zone, while, air quote, nice people or people that we have that proven to not be mean, sometimes make it out okay. I mean, this woman, we were set up where she was just looking, her biggest concern was being fed. That should elicit sympathy, right? Oh! Oh my God. Into the fire with them. Oh, did it hurt her bad enough she can't walk? That bastard put a knife where? Right in her ankle? She's gonna get pissed. And she's going to fashion up some stuff and take it to these guys. I like that weapon of choice. Oh, you son of a bitch. This is terrifying. This is really scary. This is one of the scariest ones they've had. The lighting. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, they're doing such a great job with the lighting. Take that. There's his buddy. Throw that little son of a bitch in the fire. How well she's... I mean, this is amazing. There we go. Really, this is violent as hell, man. Into the fire with you. Into the fire with you. Thunk. I wouldn't burn up a box. Little son of a bitch blew his way in. I mean, we have 2 verified, right? I mean, I guess potentially there could be a 3rd. Oh my God. She's crushing this. Crushing this. Nuts. Watch it be like a hand, like a human hand comes through and she'll attack. God, the sound design. The Foley artists working overtime. Got upstairs pretty quick. There might be 3. Oh, she's going back up. My man's cutting out.
Central Control. Come in, Central Control. Do you read me? Gresham is dead. Repeat, Gresham is dead. The ship's destroyed. Incredible race of giants here. Race of giants. No Central Control. No counterattack. Repeat, no counterattack. Too much for us. Too powerful. Stay away. Gresham and I, we're finished.
Oh my God, are they going to be like from Earth? And we're not on Earth? Damn, she did do a number on it, didn't she? Holy shit! Oh my God, I love it. They couldn't have her speak because it would be a different language. Oh, get the out of here.
The tiny beings from the tiny place called Earth, who would take the giant step across the sky to the question marks that sparkle and beckon from the vastness of a universe only to be imagined. The Invaders, who found out that a one-way ticket to the stars beyond has the ultimate price tag. A bill stamp paid in full and to be found on file in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, you sons of bitches. All right, everybody, we just finished watching The Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 15, The Invaders. And the only thing left to do, I mean, we probably shouldn't, but I guess we have to talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished watching The Twilight Zone, Episode 15 of the 2nd season, The Invaders. Hands down, one of my favorites. This was great. This is what I think of when I think of The Twilight Zone. I think of, I mean, this checks so many boxes for The Twilight Zone. Incredible performance by our lead. she did an amazing job. The lighting, everything from the production side of it, the sound design was fantastic. Lighting was fantastic. Use of music, fantastic. The special effects I thought were great. And again, they didn't reveal anything to us until the very, very end. Whenever you start to think, wait a minute, what could this possibly be? What's the Twilight Zone twist here? And then when you don't have anybody speaking, when your central figure, your central actor, does not deliver any dialogue lines. Initially, I'm thinking, oh, it's stylized. How cool, because why would you be so scared you wouldn't be saying anything? And why would you talk to yourself? Or why would you call out and give away your position or any of that stuff? And so the silence I thought was, oh, what a great choice to really amp up the tension. And it did. It absolutely did amp up the tension because for the most 99% of the episode, the invaders, there's little pricks out there. They're really hurting her, cutting her foot. I mean, her ankle, shooting her. I mean, they were not nice. And again, they were truly the definition of the title, the invaders. But then when you throw in the curve at the last minute and you say, oh, by the way, this is the U.S. Air Force and we are the invaders and this is now truly Gulliver's Travels. Except when Gulliver, not Lilliput, but what was the other place Gulliver went where he was small and everybody else was big? I always forget the name of that place, but again, very similar to that, right? Oh boy, just a really excellently, again, checks so many boxes for me from the Twilight Zone. When I think of the Twilight Zone now, I'm basically preparing myself to be wowed by something that either originated an entire sort of feeling or entire sort of trope, or something I've never seen before. And I think this did all of that, where you can see like the silence that was also a character in this story, the silence and those moments in between the glaring sounds or the music or the sound design or even the lighting, those long moments of nothing were so well done, just perfect tension, perfect way to multiply the tension. But again, with the Twilight Zone, this is something that I can't believe. If I had watched this live back in the day and you're like, oh my God, we just had an entire episode of television where nobody spoke except for Rod at the beginning and Rod at the end. Everything in between, silence, song, motion, until we hear our guys the very first time English. Oh, Grisham's down. Don't send anybody. No counterattack. We're done for. That was so well done. I got chills. That's so well done. Oh my God, I love that. And then you realize the reason why they didn't have her saying anything is, in all likelihood, she's going to blurt out in a language that nobody understands. And you're going to be like, wait a minute. Is she an alien? And then that's where, sure, they could have had her speak English or something like that. But I like to think that, and especially with Richard Matheson behind the wheel of this one, that was the added little thing. We couldn't give it away early, but you never thought, did you? You never thought she's going to start uttering some alien language. Why would you? Right? And now, from a narrative standpoint, this is such a great way. We talked about it during the episode. In the Twilight Zone does a great job of usually inside Rod's intro, you have the establishment of how we're supposed to at least initially feel about our protagonist. In the whole truth, it was basically set up. We got a used car salesman. Expect that stereotype to be fully delivered in this episode. In this one, though, it starts off with Rod saying, her only concern is just being able to get enough to eat. And so you think to yourself, oh my God, she has no electricity, no gas. She's out there in the middle of nowhere by herself. She's trying to eat, she's cooking over a fire stove. It just seems like very hard living. And so you immediately, when you see something like that, you're given at least a measure of sympathy. You know what I mean? You're going to look and say, oh my God, I would have, or, if you're looking and you think, thank God I'm not in that situation. At the very least, you're doing a comparative. You're placing yourself in her shoes. If you don't feel sympathy for her, at least you would feel like, everything's going a little bit better for me. Either way, the audience is put into a situation of, I wouldn't want to be where she is. Whether or not you feel more invested in her as a person, that's one thing. But again, with that knowledge of, boy, that's a tough, row to hoe there. I'd hate to be in her shoes. And than we are in her shoes. And so immediately we're like, what will we do? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, as soon as that kid, into the fire with them, right? Throw the U.S. Air Force personnel into the fire. I challenged to the protagonist in the middle of this episode. I advocated murder of U.S. Air Forcemen, unbeknownst to me. But I was talking about throwing Grisham into the fire. Crazy, crazy stuff. I do have a question though. Now, knowing what we know now, that these little green men were in fact, Air Force operatives, they took some pretty big falls. I mean, the one guy that fell through the ladder was knocked off, first off, one guy was knocked off the roof by the lamp. The other guy was thrown down the ladder. I mean, that's like 100-foot fall to them, right? And then they were fine. They seemed to be anyway. They seemed to be okay. Maybe their suits had some type of, I'm certainly not. It's not going to ruin one of my favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone to get into how gravity would have affected them in their suits. I'm just going to go with the idea that they had some protection. They were able to halt their fall. Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? Not at all. The whole part of this episode, this is, again, checks every box for me for the Twilight Zone. A twist you don't see coming. And that's, or you see it right before it's revealed. There's certainly no way you can put a feather in your cap and say, I got this one 30 seconds into the app. Nope. And if you all did, again, tip of the cap to you all, because it wasn't until she was back up on the roof, actually looking at it, getting ready to take the hatchet to it, right before they started saying anything, where I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if that was us? And again, but that reveal didn't make its way into my mind until the very end, right when Richard Matheson and Rod Serling wanted it to enter my mind. Great job all around. Again, applause to absolutely every member of the creative team on this one, from our writer, from our narrator, and those are our only two real voices in all of this, to, again, the production. This was the best production we've seen so far. This really, really used everything. When you have a 10 feet of rope, you used every inch of it. You used absolutely everything in your tool belt. I'm gonna see how many more metaphors here. Every bullet in your gun, right? I mean, just great, great stuff, friends. I couldn't have liked this one anymore. Oh my dear, dear God. The Twilight Zone. One of the best out there, 60 plus years removed. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows us to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from this masterpiece, The Invaders, the 15th episode of the second season of the one and only Twilight Zone. But where should we say goodbye from? Well, normally that's what we do. Normally, as the Greek chorus, somebody that watches with the creatives, this incredible creative team for this episode put together, we watch it and we go out into the world and we find other people that haven't seen the Twilight Zone and say, you really need to check out this show, especially The Invaders. And thus, 60 plus years removed, we hope to continue to grow the audience and to spread the tale. So friends, that's what we normally do. And normally what we do as a result of that is jump back into the episode at a scene of our choosing. But with the Twilight Zone, we do something a little bit different. We say goodbye as a result of the episode. And so friends, buckle up. We're going in. We don't know what happened to Grisham's craft, but our communications are down. We can see their trajectory. All we have to do is land this thing as close to them as possible, meet up with our compatriots, and survey this brand new world. What could possibly go wrong? We've had big problems out in space. There certainly can't be any big problems down on the planet. Friends, until such time as we get to watch another Twilight Zone masterpiece, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.